and laughed, unaware of the sinister presence that lurked in the shadows. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they reached the entrance to the forest. The sign read, "Enter at your own risk." Setting up camp near a small clearing, the group gathered around the fire, sharing stories and roasting marshmallows. The crackling flames cast eerie shadows on their faces, and the distant hoot of an owl added to the atmosphere. Jack, always the prankster, decided to tell a ghost story he'd heard as a child. "Legend has it," Jack began, "that this forest is haunted by the spirits of those who were lost here. They say the dead walk among the trees, seeking revenge on the living." The group laughed nervously, brushing off the story as mere folklore. Little did they know, Jack's tale was about to become their reality. As the night grew darker, the friends retreated to their tents. The forest was silent, save for the rustling of leaves and the occasional distant howl. Emma, unable to sleep, decided to take a short walk. With a flashlight in hand, she ventured deeper into the woods, feeling an inexplicable pull toward the heart of the forest. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the trees, and Emma heard a faint whisper. She turned around, but there was no one in sight. Her flashlight flickered, and she felt a chill run down her spine. Just as she was about to head back, she saw a figure in the distance. It was tall and gaunt, with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through the darkness. Emma's heart raced as she stumbled back to the campsite, her mind racing with fear and confusion. She tried to convince herself it was just her imagination, but the image of the figure remained etched in her memory. The next morning, she told her friends about the encounter. They laughed it off, teasing her about being scared of the dark. But Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As they continued their adventure, the forest seemed to close in around them, and the shadows grew longer. On the second day, the group decided to explore deeper into the forest. They followed a narrow path that led them to a small, abandoned cabin. The wooden structure was dilapidated, with vines creeping up its walls and broken windows that seemed to stare back at them. Despite its eerie appearance, the group felt a strange pull towards it. As they approached the cabin, they heard a faint, rhythmic sound like chanting. Olivia, always curious, led the way inside. The air was musty, and the floorboards creaked